Ramses the Great is so hot. I'd like to raise his obelisk. Oh, also, undead Cleopatra might be running amok somewhere, I think, but this seems more important. Hello fellow readers, I'm Lulu, but for the next few minutes, I'll be your friendly neighborhood snark reader because I've got to warn you about The Mummy by Anne Rice. What sucks is that I was actually really excited to read this novel. I'd come across Interview with a Vampire sometime earlier, and I loved it. It blew me away. It was brilliant, compelling, and made me want to read everything Rice wrote. So when I came across a book with her name on it called The Mummy, I snatched it right up. I'm nuts about anything to do with ancient Egypt, so it seemed like a match made in the duat, but really it was spawned from the depths of hell. No, not hell where the worm does not die and the fire is not quenched. It bears a greater resemblance to hell, the Viking realm of the dead, named after its queen, the daughter spawned from the unholy union of Loki and Angrboda. Young and beautiful on one half of her body, dead and rotten on the other half. To put it in simpler terms, there were some neat ideas attached to this rotten book which would otherwise have made an interesting story, if Rice had focused on the story part. What she ended up putting out there was more of what they call a bodice ripper than a serious novel, with a kind of interesting story to hold together all of the nonsense about how much the main character wants to bang Ramses and vice versa. Not interesting enough to justify reading to the end, but I did anyway, just in case the resolution would make up for everything else. It did not. So the actual plot, such as it is, has to do with an immortality elixir that Ramses the Great had quaffed at one point in his life, but then something bad happened to him, so he had himself wrapped up like a mummy and put into Egyptian storage for a few thousand years. The mummy is uncovered, and our plucky and beautiful and lonely heroine is present for when he awakens from his long slumber. Upon re-entering the world of the living, Ramses immediately tries to bang her. Naturally. Our heroine is understandably alarmed by this, but she's also kinda into it, because he is hands down the hottest mummy she's ever encountered. I mean, check out that chisel jaw. Ramses learns to speak English in a matter of a couple of hours because the immortality elixir is also like a super smart making elixir, and a great plot contrivance to gloss over all the language barrier issues. Anyway, Ramses finds a mummy that he determines is his lost love Cleopatra. Ramses then pours some immortality elixir all over her crispy corpse, and this resurrects her, kinda. Some of her bones are poking out a little, like stuffing popping out of a teddy bear with loose stitches. Or like the Viking goddess of the underworld. Kinda cool, actually, I'll give it that. So, because of her odd condition, Cleopatra goes a little bit Pet Cemetery. I was down for that part. I'm always a fan of reanimated corpses going psycho murder on everyone, so I've got no gripes with this bit here. This is the beautiful half of the Viking goddess of the underworld. The rotten half is basically everything else in the novel. Final score? 2 ripped bodices out of 10. But that's just this reader's opinion. If you disagree, drop a comment, tell me what I missed. If you have any recommendations for other Anne Rice novels that are more in line with the quality of Interview with a Vampire, let me know because I'd like to check it out. Like and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next video.